Well, Eva Hinds is the head of communication for UNICEF in Sudan. Eva, thanks very much for joining us. How many children are impacted by this civil war?
There are 15 million children in Sudan that are impacted by this war, so it's a large number of children whose lives are in a very precarious state. There are millions of children who've been forced to flee their homes since the conflict started. Many have been forced to run and leave everything behind, not only once, twice, but 3 times. And this makes them very vulnerable. And many of these children are stuck in camps for internally displaced at the moment. That means they're in a place where there's very limited or no services available. That means very limited amounts of safe and clean water, barely no health care, limited amounts of food to eat, no chance to go to school, no chance to learn. And of course, when people are very crammed in these places, it also means that there are disease outbreaks, children get sick, and when they get sick, they're also susceptible for malnutrition. So the situation for the children is very difficult in many ways. And these are children in camps. And then we have, of course, children who are on the run and on the move, and they can be killed or injured in many places when they're so close to the conflict lines.
What proportion of children in distress in Sudan do you think you're able to reach?
Well, we are doing everything we can to reach as many children as possible across these different corners of the country. But it is difficult in many ways, and we estimate, for example, that last year 60% of our aid deliveries were delayed for various reasons. There's a lot of red tape involved. It means a lot of bureaucratic approvals before the trucks can move. Sometimes it is fighting that halts the transport. Sometimes it is the vast geography that we are talking about. This is a very big country. Sometimes it is the weather that makes things so difficult. So even if we try very hard, it is very difficult to reach all the children in need. And also noting that the needs are, this year alone, they're 20 times bigger than they were last year. So the needs are growing up, and we are racing against time to reach as many children as we can.
Why do you think it's become a so-called forgotten war?
Well, I think there hasn't been much attention on Sudan for a long time. Today, it's delightful to see that so many different media outlets are talking about Sudan, but today we are marking 2 years. And perhaps that's why we are in front of the television screen today, and we are reading about Sudan in the papers. But I think much more is needed so that we don't look away and we don't neglect these children when the needs are so big.
All right, thank you so much for chatting to us today. Eva Hinds is the head of communication for UNICEF in Sudan, speaking to us there from Port Sudan.